Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I've got both these watches in for review at the moment. Thought it'd be a good time to actually show them side by side, because you very rarely see these ones together. This is the U50, a firm favourite of many, as it's basically a U1 but smaller, but with an improved movement over the U1. And this is the T50. Now, the T50 is a lot rarer, because you don't see many of these, and it is just superb. But there is a big price difference between the two of them. Basically, I think in the UK, this one's around about 2,000, just over 2,400, I think it is, on a bracelet. This one's about 3,000, I believe it is, on the silicon. You can get it on a bracelet. It looks exactly the same as this, but it's a titanium bracelet. And honestly, as I've got these two in my hands, I can feel a big weight difference. This feels so much more heavier in comparison to this one. Now, both are about 41 millimeters. This one's pretty well cock on. This one is 40.5. Both have a body, though, of 40 millimeters. The thickness, I think the U50 is 11.4 and the T50 here is 12.2. So this one is a little bit slimmer. The lug to lug is pretty well the same, and so are the bracelets are the same. I wouldn't be surprised if a steel bracelet would fit straight onto this. I'm pretty certain it would. Now, both are hardcore dive watches. You're talking 500 meters. That's what's designated by the T50 and U50. So the 50 is 50 bar. So we've got 500 meters of water resistance to them. So these can quite happily handle anything. The U50, as we can see here, it's definitely a bit more kind of more standard colours, obviously a little bit more legible. Not that this one isn't legible, it's actually surprisingly good, even though they've gone with this monochrome kind of look to it there. And they just, I think they both look superb. Where this has got that nice hints of, well, not so much hints, but bold application of colour on the hands. This goes with the complete opposite, a monochrome. But it is both. They just both look superb. This one has more lume than this one, because obviously because they've gone a bit more monochrome, the lume doesn't come out as well. Both watches feature the tried and trusted the SW300, which is basically a clone of a 2892. So both, I believe, have about 56 hours of power reserve. Both are top spec. I hear so many people say, oh, but my microband watch has got an SW300 or whatever, but these are top spec. They cost almost the same price of the movement again to get top spec. What that actually means is both of these on a time grapher pull around about 2 seconds a day, along those lines, but they run well within chronometer specifications, but they don't come with the paperwork for chronometer specifications, but they just look superb. Now, obviously on the U50 here, we've got the Lego style hands, the kind of lollipop style one on the end there, and these Lego style markers. Love them or hate them. It took me 10 years to actually like these hands. Now I do. The bezel action, very solid. There you go. So back play. Oh, that did go back. Tiny bit, and then it locks. But very, very, very positive. Obviously, it lines up. This here, now this has a different system. So basically, you can't turn it. If I just turn it will not turn. You have to depress it to turn it. So at first you may think, oh, it feels a little bit loose, but what it is, it's actually you have a certain amount of spring to it to allow you to press this down. So as you can see, you press it down, and once it's in, it locks. It cannot move. So when it's locked in position, it will not move. And there you go. And both bezels feature what Sinn call a captive bezel system. So on both watches, you will see these small screws, and basically there is a ring which hooks under part of the case. It means you can't just knock these off. Like you can on most watches. You get a pry tool and you just clip the bezel off, but you cannot with this style. It's one of their little safety features. So I say titanium, and this case. So, you know, we're starting to claw back a little bit of that money. Now, if I also show here, one thing this has on the body of the watch is this here. That's part of their AR dehumidifying system. So there's no oxygen in this watch. They basically suck it all out, put in inert gas, change the seals, and fit this little titanium cage copper sulfite crystals in there, and that'll draw any moisture if there was to be any. So this will come with a 2-year warranty, and the T50 will come with a 3-year warranty, because they believe it's a lot better for the movement. There is no no air moisture within the air to contaminate the oils. So that's another system there. So basically, you do claw back some, but the main reason, obviously, there's a lesser production run of this, and titanium was more expensive as well than this one here. You know, whether it's worth a full €800 price difference is, you know, that's only for you to decide. But these are a lot rarer, obviously. Both on the back feature solid case backs, so you can't see the movement back there at all. So, you know, I personally like to see the movement. One thing I would say, this is on the silicone strap which comes supplied. I've also put it on this white one, and I think it looks tremendous. You can also fit other ones, and don't also forget, this will fit on there with no problem at all. In fact, this is designated U50, so I think it's got the writing on there. As to, most strangely, is the one fitted to this. So this will swap over onto that U50 there. So you can't go wrong with either watch, I personally think. Now, as you can see, the crown on both these watches is down at the 4 o'clock position. This aids with it not pressing into the back of your hand. It's one of, I've seen some people who wear watches and they end up with like a real imprint here of where the crown is pressing down on them, and sometimes after a bit it can become somewhat annoying, but this negates that by having the crown down here. Let me show you them both on my wrist so you get an idea how they look. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing the original EZM2. That's the later EZM2 which Bob is wearing there, also known as the UX. The one I'm wearing was also known as the Hydra. The Hydro model. They originally came out in the 96, I believe it was. Let me show you the U50 on my wrist so you get an idea how it looks. So I've got a 7¼ inch wrist, and that's it on my wrist there. I think it is perfect. It looks so cool. And quick look at the T50. Let's just press this down. It's a little bit large at the moment because it's on the silicone, but there you go. That's the T50. I think it looks absolutely superb. But it's up to you which one you kind of like, guys, or how much money you're willing to spend. But anyway, I'll leave you to it, and any comments, leave them in the section below, and I'll always try and get back to you. Anyway, guys, all the best, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Bye.